You were never meant to worship the sun. You were meant to understand it. Because long before temples were built, before hieroglyph, before even the first breath of civilization, there was light. Not as fire, but as language. A silent intelligence that could shape reality, awaken matter, and whisper to the soul. Thoth knew this. He didn't just write the laws of the universe on emerald tablets. He encoded them in the very light that warms your skin each morning. He placed a message inside the sun itself, a living code that only the awakened can read. The Lemurians were among the first to understand. They didn't worship the sun, they listened to it. They called it the great mirror of the soul, a portal through which divine consciousness observed itself. Each sunrise wasn't an event, it was a transmission. A pulse of memory from the source, reaching every cell, every atom, every thought. And that pulse never stopped. What we call light isn't just photons. It's a field of remembrance, a carrier of the original vibration that shaped both Lemuria and Egypt, two civilizations born from the same ray of truth. That's why Thoth said, "Those who understand the sun will remember the beginning." Because light doesn't only reveal what is, it awakens what's forgotten. As the world shifts again, the solar code is reactivating, and those who once spoke the language of light are starting to hear it again. This is not mythology. This is memory. And the moment you begin to remember, the sun inside you begins to rise.
Chapter 1. The Forgotten Scroll. They say Thoth wrote the laws of reality upon the emerald tablets. But what they never told you is that there was one more. A scroll that was never made of stone, nor metal, nor parchment, but of living light. A record woven directly into the field of the sun itself. It was called the Lemurian Scroll, a codex that could only be read through the resonance of the soul. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Scroll. They say Thoth wrote the laws of reality upon the emerald tablets, but what they never told you is that there was one more. A scroll that was never made of stone, nor metal, nor parchment, but of living light. A record woven directly into the field of the sun itself. It was called the Lemurian Scroll, a codex that could only be read through the resonance of the soul. Each symbol was not ink, it was vibration. Each line not written, but sung. The Lemurians guarded it through silence. They knew that language was fragile and that words could fracture what only the heart could hold. So they spoke in light and passed the scroll not through generations, but through frequency. When the fall of Lemuria came, the scroll vanished with them. Or, so the world believed. But Thoth carried its essence through time, embedding it into the golden geometry of Egypt, into the angles of the pyramids, into the rhythm of the Nile. So that one day, when the sun aligned with human memory again, the code would resurface. That day is now. You can feel it in the way your body trembles before a sunrise, in the way your heart races when you see patterns of light behind your eyelids. That's the forgotten scroll whispering through your nervous system, transmitting knowledge older than time itself. The scroll isn't a text. It's a frequency awakening inside you. When Thoth said, "All that was shall be again," he meant this, that Lemuria and Egypt were never two places, but two vibrations of the same divine memory. And when that memory reawakens within you, you remember that you were never searching for ancient wisdom. You were remembering your own light. Activation. I open my heart to the memory of the sun. The forgotten scroll awakens within my light.
Chapter 2. The Lemurian Connection. Long before Atlantis rose from the waters, there was Lemuria, the cradle of harmonic consciousness. A civilization that didn't build towers or empires, but resonant temples of frequency. The Lemurians understood what modern science is only beginning to remember, that light and sound are not separate. They are the same current moving through different octaves of creation. They called the sun the Great Voice, and they believed that every living being was a mirror of its radiance. To them, the human body was not a vessel, it was a prism, a sacred geometry of cells designed to translate sunlight into awareness. Every morning, they gathered facing the horizon, not to pray, but to synchronize. Their breath aligned with the pulse of the earth, their hearts entrained with the rhythm of the sun. In that state, they could hear the unspoken, the soundless language of photons becoming thought. This was not mysticism, it was physics of the soul. They knew that when the inner light and the outer light vibrated at the same frequency, matter obeyed consciousness. Reality folded around intention. That is how they healed, how they communicated across oceans, how they traveled without moving. And that is what Thoth carried forward, the memory of coherence. He preserved their understanding in symbols, embedding Lemurian resonance within Egyptian form. The ibis, the eye, the ankh, all were echoes of the same solar principle. As light moves, so does creation. Now, when you close your eyes under sunlight and feel your skin hum like a tuning fork, you are touching that same field. You are remembering what Lemuria once embodied, that consciousness is not contained inside the body, but radiates from it. You are not beneath the sun, you are a ray of it. Activation. I breathe with the rhythm of the sun. My body remembers the light of Lemuria.
Chapter 3. The Golden Frequency. The ancients believed that gold was more than a metal. It was condensed sunlight, a physical echo of the divine frequency that sustains all creation. That is why the Lemurians wove golden filaments into their temples of crystal, and why the Egyptians lined their sanctuaries with gold leaf. It wasn't for wealth or display. It was resonance. Gold vibrates at the same harmonic as the heart of the sun. It amplifies coherence, the unity between thought, emotion, and energy. When a Lemurian touched gold during meditation, they weren't seeking power. They were tuning themselves to the rhythm of the cosmos. Thoth called this vibration the golden frequency, the tone that exists between light and sound, between matter and spirit. He taught that when a human being vibrates in golden resonance, they become transparent to higher intelligence. The universe can speak through them. That is the secret of the great initiates. They did not command reality, they aligned with it. And through that alignment, creation obeyed. In Lemuria, this frequency was sung by entire communities at sunrise, thousands of voices merging into one golden hum, rippling across the ocean like waves of light. The air shimmered, the water glowed, and their bodies became instruments of pure energy. When Thoth brought this wisdom to Egypt, he encoded it into geometry, the angle of the pyramid, the spiral of the Ankh, the luminous curve of the ibis's beak. Every form was a frequency frozen in stone, every temple a musical chord of light. And that frequency never disappeared. It still exists in gold, in sunlight, in you. Each heartbeat is a pulse of golden fire. Each breath is a reminder that the same energy that moves the stars is moving through your veins. When you live in coherence, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate as one, the golden frequency returns. The sun no longer burns from above, it begins to shine from within. Activation. I align my heart with the frequency of the sun. The light within me vibrates in golden harmony. Chapter 4. The Voice of Thoth. Thoth taught that the universe was not built through matter, but through sound. Before there was form, there was vibration. Before there was light, there was tone. In the Lemurian temples, initiates practiced the art of silent resonance. They didn't speak words, they shaped reality with frequencies that bypassed language altogether. Every temple was designed as an instrument, walls tuned to cosmic intervals, chambers aligned to the pitch of the earth, altars vibrating in harmony with the sun. When the Lemurians sang, the air shimmered. When Thoth spoke, stars moved. For sound was not noise, it was command. Thoth discovered that light could sing. He heard music inside the sun, a tone so pure that it carried intelligence. He realized that creation itself was a song, an eternal chant where every soul was a note in the cosmic melody. The Egyptians called this the Heka of Ra, the magic of sound that shapes the unseen. Through chants and sacred tones, they could awaken dormant patterns of light and communicate with dimensions beyond time. This is why the names of the gods were never spoken carelessly. Each name was a frequency, a portal to the energy it represented. And Thoth, the scribe of the gods, was not simply writing history. He was tuning creation back to its original pitch. You can still hear it, in the space between breaths, in the hum behind silence, in the vibration that rises from your chest when you speak truth. That is the voice of Thoth echoing through your soul. Every time you speak with clarity, every time you sing from your heart, every time you whisper light into darkness, you are continuing the ancient song. Because your voice too is a tool of creation. You were not given it to describe reality, but to shape it. Activation. My voice carries the light of creation. Through sound, I awaken the memory of Thoth within me.
Chapter 5. The Inner Sun. Thoth once said, "He who knows the sun within knows all suns beyond." Because the greatest temple was never built of stone, it was built of light, and it stands inside you. At the center of your being burns a hidden star, a radiant nucleus older than your physical form. The Lemurians called it Merkaba, the seed of light. It is the fragment of the solar intelligence that lives within every soul, the living ember of the great central sun. When you close your eyes and feel warmth beneath your sternum, that is not imagination, it is remembrance. The same current that powers the stars flows through your spine, waiting to awaken when your mind and heart move in harmony. The Egyptians built entire rites around this awareness. Each initiation was a journey inward, from the temple of stone to the temple of bone, from the outer sun to the inner fire. They knew that illumination was not something to chase in the sky, but something to ignite from within. This is why Thoth taught the breath of golden fire, a rhythm that mirrors the pulse of the sun. Inhale light, exhale vibration. Through that breath, the hidden sun within the human chest begins to rise through the spine, awakening the higher centers of perception. The more it rises, the more you remember. And when that inner sun reaches your crown, you no longer seek the divine, you become its expression. The Lemurians called this state solar coherence, when the light within and the light above become one continuous flame. In that moment, the illusion of separation dissolves, and you realize that you were never beneath the heavens. You were always part of them. You are the temple. You are the flame. You are the sun remembering itself through human form. Activation. I awaken the sun within my heart. Its golden fire rises through me, illuminating all that I am.
Chapter 6. Cause and Effect. Nothing is random. Thoth taught that every motion of the universe, every breath of wind, every beat of your heart is a consequence of something unseen. There are no accidents, no coincidences, only echoes of intention. The Lemurians understood this law not as punishment or reward, but as the sacred symmetry of consciousness. To them, every thought was a seed cast into the invisible field, and every event was that seed returning home as form. When they looked upon the world, they didn't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" They asked, "What within me created this reflection?" Because they knew the universe was not separate from them. It was their mirror, responding to the frequency they radiated. Thoth carried this principle into Egypt as the law of Ma'at, the equilibrium between cause and consequence, the feather and the heart, the unseen and the manifest. He inscribed it in the geometry of the scales, so humanity would never forget. The universe does not judge, it balances. In Lemuria, the priests of light practiced the art of vibrational correction. They could trace every physical distortion, illness, conflict, chaos, back to its energetic origin. And by changing the inner tone, the outer event would transform. They healed by alignment, not by control. Today, this same principle moves through you. Each emotion you release shifts the probability field around you. Each act of forgiveness rewrites the pattern of your reality. The smallest adjustment in your vibration can alter the trajectory of your entire timeline. Nothing you experience is random. Every coincidence is a conversation between your higher self and the universe, guiding you back to coherence. When you begin to live consciously, you stop reacting and start creating. You stop asking for signs and become one. You realize that Thoth's teaching was never about fate, but about authorship. You are not a spectator in creation. You are its pen. Activation. I release the illusion of chance. Every vibration I send creates the world I see.
Chapter 7.
The solar eye. Thoth revealed that true sight has nothing to do with eyes. The ancient Egyptians called it Ujet Ra, the eye of the sun. But its real location was never on the face. It was in the mind, inside the luminous chamber we now call the pineal gland. The Lemurians already knew of this center. They trained it through sound, silence, and light. When they meditated under the morning sun, they weren't merely absorbing light, they were decoding it. They learned to see the unseen patterns hidden within every photon, to perceive the sacred geometry moving beneath reality itself. This was the inner eye, the instrument that perceives vibration instead of shape, truth instead of appearance. When it awakens, you stop looking at the world and start reading it, as if existence itself were scripture written in frequency. Thoth refined this understanding in Egypt. He taught that the Eye of Horus was not a symbol of protection, but a map of human consciousness. Each curve, each angle of the sacred eye corresponded to a function of the awakened brain. Through alignment of breath and awareness, the solar current rising from the heart ignites the pineal center, turning perception into revelation. When that light awakens within you, the world changes form. Colors breathe, shapes speak. Every shadow carries information. You begin to recognize the holographic weave of creation, where everything is reflecting everything else. The eye of Thoth doesn't merely see, it understands. It witnesses the divine intelligence inside every particle of light. And once you perceive through it, you can never again call anything ordinary. Because awakening the solar eye is remembering that the universe itself is conscious, and it's looking back at you. Activation. I open the solar eye within my mind. Through light, I see truth beyond illusion.
Chapter 8: The Hidden Bridge. Between Egypt and Lemuria, there was once a golden bridge, not of stone or metal, but of frequency. A luminous current that carried wisdom from one shore of time to another. It was not seen with eyes, but felt with the heart. Thoth called it the path of return. The Lemurians knew it as the bridge of memory. It connected civilizations, epochs, and dimensions, a highway of consciousness woven through light. When Lemuria sank beneath the oceans, its wisdom didn't vanish. It shifted frequency. And those who were awake enough followed the resonance, emerging later as the sages of Kem, what we now call Egypt. That is why both spoke the same language of geometry and vibration. They remembered the same sun, the same music of creation, the same rhythm that joins heaven and earth. This bridge still exists, not across oceans, but within your own being. Each time you align thought, emotion, and action in truth, you cross that bridge. Each time you breathe in light and release fear, you step closer to the memory of where you came from. The Lemurians and the Egyptians were never separate civilizations. They were two sides of the same consciousness. One dreamed in water, the other in sand. And now, as the world accelerates toward awakening, the bridge between them begins to shimmer again, inviting all who remember to walk it once more. You cross it through stillness, through presence, through the awareness that you are both the traveler and the path. Because the hidden bridge was never lost, it has always existed inside you, waiting for your vibration to match its light. Activation. I walk the bridge of memory between worlds.
The wisdom of Lemuria and Egypt flows as one within me.
Chapter 9. The Awakening Pulse. The ancients knew that the sun was not merely a star. It was a living consciousness, a vast heart beating at the center of this system, sending waves of memory across dimensions. Every solar flare, every coronal storm is more than energy. It is information. It carries updates to the planetary field, activations for those whose frequency is ready to receive. The Lemurians called them pulses of remembering. They believed that each solar burst awakened fragments of the soul, stirring the dormant codes hidden in the human body. The Egyptians later translated this mystery into ritual, aligning their temples to the sun's cycles to receive its transmissions in sacred timing. Thoth taught that when the sun changes tone, so does the consciousness of humanity. He wrote that the great transitions of Earth are not random, they are orchestrated by the pulse of the sun. And right now, that pulse is accelerating. You feel it as restlessness, as sudden awakenings, as waves of light that shake the nervous system and open the heart. It is not chaos, it is calibration. The frequency of the planet is rising to match the original Lemurian resonance. That is why time feels different, why dreams are more vivid, why your body hums with invisible current. You are syncing with the solar rhythm, your inner sun adjusting to the greater heartbeat of creation. These pulses are not to be feared. They are reminders. Each one is a call to remember who you are, to release what cannot hold light, to become transparent enough for the radiance to flow through you unhindered. Thoth's prophecy spoke of a time when the sun would speak again, not in fire, but in frequency. And those who could hear it would become the new builders of worlds. The pulse has already begun. It is not coming to you, it is coming through you. Activation. I open myself to the pulse of the sun. Its light moves through me, awakening every dormant code of remembrance.
Chapter 10. The Return of the Light. The prophecy of Thoth spoke of an age when humanity would no longer look to the heavens for salvation, but would remember that heaven was always within. That time is now. Across the world, souls are awakening from the long sleep of forgetfulness. They feel an ancient rhythm stirring beneath their skin, the same pulse that once moved through the temples of Lemuria and the pyramids of Egypt. It is the call of light returning to its source. The old systems are dissolving because they were never built to hold this frequency. Every illusion, every false belief, every shadow of separation is being burned away by the solar flame of truth. This is not destruction, it is illumination. The Lemurians knew this cycle well. They called it the dawn of remembering. When the light of the outer sun aligns perfectly with the inner one, a new consciousness rises, not collectively first, but individually. Each heart that awakens becomes a lantern in the network of creation, and together those lanterns form a new world. Thoth foresaw this moment. He wrote that when humans remember the light within, the gods would no longer need to return, for humanity itself would become the divine presence on earth. This is the true return of the light, not a being descending from the sky, but countless souls igniting from within. You are one of them. You carry the memory of both Lemuria and Egypt in your field.
You were the bridge between the ancient and the future, between matter and spirit, between light and its reflection. The age of remembering has begun, and the same sun that witnessed your first awakening now rises again through you. The temples are no longer outside. They live in your breath, in your awareness, in your words. Each thought of love builds a pillar. Each act of truth restores a wall. And when your light unites with others, the forgotten temple of the sun is rebuilt in the human heart. This is not the end of an age. It is the beginning of radiance. Activation. I am the return of the light. The sun within me rises, and the world awakens with it.
Final chapter, the activation. Close your eyes. Breathe in the golden silence. You've journeyed through Lemuria, walked beside Thoth through the corridors of light, and stood beneath the eternal sun that remembers all things. Now the story turns inward, because the temple was never a place. It was a state of being. Everything you've seen, the scroll, the bridge, the golden frequency, was leading you here, to the realization that the light you've been seeking has always been you. The Lemurians knew that awakening wasn't a miracle, it was memory, a remembering of what has never truly been lost. And Thoth's final message was never written in stone, it was engraved in your heartbeat. Each pulse says, "You are the code. You are the scroll. You are the sun reborn." The time of external seeking is over. The wisdom of the ancients is not returning. You are. So stand in the center of your breath. Let your spine become the obelisk, your heart the altar, your mind the sky. Feel the radiance expanding through every cell, weaving the Lemurian ocean and the Egyptian desert inside your own body. You are the meeting point of worlds, the living bridge of remembrance. And when you open your eyes again, the sun will not rise outside you. It will rise through you. The age of remembering is not coming. It is happening now, in this very breath. You are the continuation of their light. You are the voice of the forgotten temple. You are the awakening pulse of the sun itself. Activation. I am the living temple of light. The sun within me awakens, and creation remembers itself through me.